Miracles in American history. As America may be facing more crises in our future, it's inspiring to look back at miracles in the past. In the book, Prayers and Presidents, we see that our leaders have turned to God in times of crises. One of those stories is the freezing winter at Valley Forge. After the victory at Saratoga in New York, George Washington's men were driven into Pennsylvania by the British. The Continental Army now set up camp at Valley Forge, December 19, 1777, just 25 miles from British-occupied Philadelphia. So while the British were now in all the nice homes in Philadelphia, the loyal Americans were now out in the freezing winter. Lacking food and supplies, soldiers died at the rate of 12 per day. Of 11,000 soldiers, 2,500 died of cold, hunger, and disease. A committee from Congress reported that feet and legs froze till they became black, and it was often necessary to amputate them. Soldiers were there from every state in the Union, and some were as young as 12 and others as old as 60. Though most were white, there were some African American and American Indians that were there with the American cause at Valley Forge. Quaker farmer Isaac Potts observed General Washington kneeling in prayer in the snow, and we're all familiar with the painting of that. Hessian Major Karl Leopold Bauermeister noted that the only thing that kept the American army from disintegrating was their, quote, spirit of liberty. In a letter written to John Bannister, George Washington recorded, "To see men without clothes to cover their nakedness, without blankets to lay on, without shoes by which their marches might be traced by the blood from their feet, and at Christmas taking up their quarters within a day's march of the enemy, is a mark of patience and obedience which in my opinion can scarce be paralleled." On April 12th of 1778, this is the spring after that terrible winter, at Valley Forge, George Washington ordered, "The Honorable Congress having thought proper to recommend to the United States of America to set apart Wednesday the 22nd to be observed as a day of fasting, humiliation, and prayer, that at one time and with one voice the righteous dispensation of Providence may be acknowledged, and His goodness and mercy toward our arms supplicated and implored. The General directs that the day shall be most religiously observed in the army, that no work shall be done thereon, and that the several chaplains do prepare discourses." Washington wrote, August 20th of 1778, "The hand of Providence has been so conspicuous in all this, the course of the war, that he must be worse than an infidel that lacks faith, and more wicked that has not gratitude to acknowledge his obligations. But it will be time enough for me to turn preacher when my present appointment ceases." That was the miracle of our army surviving Valley Forge. Had they disintegrated and not survived that winter, there would not have been an army and the war would have been over. That was one of the miracles in our history.